The allure of fame always comes with intense public and media attention. Just one careless moment, an inappropriate statement, or an impulsive action can completely alter a celebrity's image in the eyes of the public. In the age of rapidly developing social media, every mistake can spread quickly and have unpredictable consequences. In today's video, we'll look back at some notable stories of individuals who have stumbled in public, drawing profound lessons about caution and responsibility for public figures. If you find this content helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos. Bobcat Goldthwait was known for his eccentric comedic style and unpredictable appearances on television, but his 1994 appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno became one of the most controversial events of his career. Instead of providing typical laughs, he left the studio bewildered with his unscripted actions. From the moment he was introduced, the atmosphere in the room became tense as the audience sensed that this appearance wouldn't go as planned. Goldthwait continued his signature satirical style, even making sarcastic comments about the need for attention in the entertainment industry. When asked about his influence on young people, he responded in a humorous yet challenging way, leaving the audience's reaction unpredictable. The situation quickly spiraled out of control when Goldthwait acted shockingly on stage, prompting Jay Leno and the production team to intervene immediately to ensure the safety of the recording. Chaos ensued as everyone scrambled to handle the unexpected situation in astonishment. Following the incident, this appearance quickly became a widely discussed topic and led to serious repercussions. His behavior was not only seen as crossing the line for an entertainment program, but also raised legal issues related to public safety. The incident was later recalled as one of the most controversial moments, significantly impacting Bobcat Goldthwait's image and career in the eyes of the public. Liam Neeson faced significant controversy after an interview where he shared a personal and sensitive past experience. The actor recounted how, after a relative was sexually assaulted by someone of a different race, he experienced extreme rage and negative, impulsive thoughts during a period of emotional distress. He stated that he walked the streets in a fit of anger, overwhelmed by emotion, before gradually realizing those thoughts were wrong and unacceptable. Neeson later expressed deep regret for letting his rage override his reason. This statement immediately sparked heated debate. Some criticized him for the story being prejudiced, while others viewed it as a genuine confession of a past mistake. Amidst the controversy, several prominent figures such as Trevor Noah and Whoopi Goldberg spoke out in his defense, arguing that Neeson was honestly reflecting on his past and acknowledging his mistakes. However, the incident still significantly impacted his image in the eyes of some viewers afterward. Juliana Rancic was once a familiar face on E! News, but in 2015, she unexpectedly became embroiled in a major controversy after a comment she made during a red carpet broadcast of the Oscars. Commenting on Zendaya's braided hairstyle, she made a remark that was deemed inappropriate, leading many viewers to believe it was prejudiced and insensitive to the hair culture of Black people. Zendaya immediately responded directly on social media, emphasizing that the line between a joke and disrespect is clear. She explained that choosing to wear her hair naturally was a way for her to express her identity and pride in her heritage, and expressed her displeasure at how her hair was being commented on negatively. Zendaya's stance quickly garnered widespread sympathy and support from the public. Following a wave of strong reactions, Rancic publicly apologized on social media, asserting that she did not intend to offend anyone. She then issued a formal explanation, acknowledging that her remarks had unintentionally caused harm and stating that she would learn from the experience. Later, Rancic also suggested that her comment may have been edited during broadcast, leading to a more negative interpretation. Nevertheless, the incident remains a subject of debate and serves as a reminder of responsible speech on television, as well as the sensitivity involved in discussing cultural and physical aspects within the entertainment industry. A video that went viral on social media captured a controversial moment between Ezra Miller and a female fan at a bar in Iceland. In the clip, Miller asks a provocative question about fighting, initially appearing to be just joking. However, the situation quickly escalated as their behavior went beyond normal interaction, surprising those around them and the person filming. The video ends in confusion and concern, immediately attracting significant attention online and sparking heated debate about appropriate behavior in such situations. Shortly afterward, Ezra Miller became embroiled in a series of legal issues, including charges of disorderly conduct and other media attention-grabbing incidents. This series of controversies brought his image to the forefront of discussion in the entertainment industry. These controversies also put Warner Brothers in a difficult position. Miller found himself in a difficult situation as the lead actor in a major film project. Although the film was released, the box office results fell short of expectations, and many believe that controversies surrounding the actor's personal life partly affected audience reaction to the film. A previously released surveillance video captured a serious incident involving Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel hallway in March 2016. However, the footage only came to light years later, drawing significant public attention and raising questions about the artist's past behavior. In the video, Cassie Ventura appears to be leaving the hotel room, seemingly intending to depart. Shortly afterward, Combs appears and rushes towards her in a tense manner. The footage shows a conflict unfolding in the hallway before Ventura is pulled back inside the room. She is then seen attempting to reach the elevator and using her phone there, while Combs returns to the scene and continues to appear in the frame. The video continued to show erratic behavior in the hotel room, including Combs returning to the hallway and expressing his anger by throwing an object to the floor before leaving. The entire incident was brief, but left a very tense and shocking impression on viewers when the footage was released. After the video went viral, the incident quickly became the focus of debate, significantly impacting Combs' public image. Many began to reconsider previous accusations and rumors regarding his private life. The incident also put the artist's long career under considerable pressure and serious repercussions, as the public and media continued to question what happened behind the scenes. Joan Rivers was once a familiar and beloved face on The Tonight Show, frequently appearing as a guest and even filling in for Johnny Carson in his absence. For years, their professional relationship was considered close, until a decision in 1986 completely changed the picture. At that time, Rivers accepted an offer from Fox to host her own late-night talk show, effectively becoming a direct rival to Carson. The controversy wasn't just about her move to a new channel, but also about Rivers not informing Carson beforehand. When the news broke, she tried to call and explain, but Carson reportedly hung up, and subsequent attempts to contact her were unsuccessful. Later, Rivers stated that she found herself in an uncertain situation as NBC repeatedly delayed renewing her contract, leaving her future on the show uncertain. Meanwhile, Fox, in the process of building a new television network, made a very attractive offer, including the lead hosting role and a lucrative long-term contract, which she could hardly refuse. However, this decision had serious consequences for her personal and professional relationship. Johnny Carson reportedly cut off contact with Rivers, and she subsequently never appeared on The Tonight Show again. Jimmy the Greek was once a prominent CBS sports commentator, highly regarded for his analytical and predictive abilities in American football. However, his career plummeted after a controversial interview in 1988. During the interview, when discussing Martin Luther King Jr. Day and the issue of opportunity for different groups in society, he initially offered neutral remarks. However, he later made statements considered sensitive, relating to racial disparities in sports, particularly American football, quickly turning the conversation into a subject of debate. These remarks immediately spread and generated a strong public reaction. Many viewers expressed their disapproval and contacted CBS directly to voice their opinions. Under increasing pressure from public opinion, CBS decided to terminate his contract, abruptly ending Jimmy the Greek's television career. Jesse Eisenberg is known to many audiences through his roles in Zombieland and Now You See Me, where he impressed with his fast-paced, sharp, and energetic acting. Thanks to his outstanding performances, he also received recognition from critics with major nominations such as the Oscars and Golden Globes. However, off-screen, Eisenberg has often been criticized for his rather unapproachable demeanor, and a widely circulated interview further fueled controversy. During the conversation with reporter Romina Puga, his responses were deemed sarcastic and lacking the necessary comfort for a public interview. Throughout the exchange, Eisenberg's reactions to the questions were perceived as ironic, and his attention to small details in the reporter's notes created a rather tense atmosphere. When the interviewer made a light-hearted joke about the progress of the conversation, he responded bluntly, making the situation feel less natural. After the interview was published, the reporter herself shared that the experience made her feel uncomfortable. As the video went viral on social media, many conflicting opinions emerged, with some arguing that Eisenberg had a rather rigid attitude in his media interactions. This somewhat led to a more cautious public perception of him, even though his acting career continued to flourish afterward. Joaquin Phoenix had an impressive acting career, but his appearance on David Letterman's show in 2009 left the public utterly bewildered. From the moment he stepped onto the stage, Phoenix appeared with a strikingly different look, sporting a thick beard, sunglasses, and a quiet, somewhat unpredictable demeanor. From the very beginning, the interview felt strange. Letterman tried to create a relaxed atmosphere with light-hearted greetings and jokes, but Phoenix's responses were brief and difficult to decipher, leaving viewers unsure whether he was serious or trying to portray a certain persona. Throughout the conversation, he continued to give disjointed answers and then unexpectedly revealed his intention to leave film to pursue hip-hop music, surprising the entire audience. Letterman tried to keep the show on track with humor, but the atmosphere remained unpredictable and awkward. Following the show, many theories arose regarding Phoenix's mental state and behavior at the time. However, it was later revealed that the entire appearance was part of the I'm Still Here project, a fictional documentary in which he himself participated. Although this was a deliberate performance, it still had a real impact on Phoenix's image for a time, making some studios more hesitant to work with him. It wasn't until his return with critically acclaimed roles that Phoenix's reputation was fully restored. Rachel Zegler quickly rose to prominence in Hollywood after her starring role in West Side Story, 2021. However, the attention she received was also accompanied by much debate surrounding Disney's live-action Snow White project. From the moment the project was announced, the film generated mixed opinions, but it was Zegler's statements about the 1937 animated version that truly ignited the controversy. In an interview, she argued that the original story contained many elements that were no longer relevant to the modern era and needed to be adjusted to be more contemporary. She also shared a different perspective on the romantic storyline, emphasizing that the main character should be developed as independent and focused on self-development rather than relying on a romantic relationship. Some of her humorous remarks about the prince's image also displeased some viewers. The controversy continued to escalate when Zegler frankly stated that she didn't grow up with Snow White and wasn't a particular fan of the original film. This led many to question her suitability for the iconic role. Subsequent interview statements further divided public opinion, even sparking calls for boycotts related to some of the projects she was involved in. From a role expected to expand her standing in Hollywood, Snow White became the focus of debate, contributing to the mixed public perception of Rachel Zegler. Vanilla Ice was a musical phenomenon in 1990 with his hit Ice Ice Baby, quickly making him one of the most prominent figures in the music industry at the time. However, when his subsequent releases failed to achieve the expected success, his career began to stagnate and gradually entered a difficult period. By the end of the 1990s, his public image had also declined. In this context, an appearance on the MTV show 25 Lame in 1999 brought things back to light. This was a satirical program that often revisited poorly received music videos. There, Vanilla Ice was invited to participate in a humorous segment where he was given a baseball bat and asked to handle a VHS version of Ice Ice Baby as a way of self-deprecatingly reflecting on his past. Initially, everything unfolded in an entertaining manner, with him performing his script as planned. However, the atmosphere became uncontrollable as he continued to interact with the props and surroundings excessively, causing chaos on set and deviating far from the original script. Several tense moments caught both the studio audience and the host by surprise. After the show aired, public reaction was mixed. Instead of viewing it as a humorous, self-deprecating segment, many believed the situation reflected frustration related to his career no longer being at its peak. Nevertheless, this moment remains a controversial milestone in Vanilla Ice's career, making it more difficult for some viewers to regain a positive image of him. Jussie Smollett, the actor from the Empire series, became the focus of global attention in 2019 following a highly controversial incident. He initially reported to authorities that he had been attacked at night in Chicago by two strangers. His initial account involved hate speech, including racist and sexist remarks, along with physical assault, which garnered significant public attention. Following the report, Smollett received sympathy and support from many celebrities and politicians, and the incident quickly became a hot topic in the media. However, subsequent investigations revealed inconsistencies in his initial testimony. Authorities subsequently reviewed the entire account and questioned the veracity of the story. Two individuals arrested in connection with the incident confessed to being paid to participate in staging the situation, which significantly shifted the direction of the investigation and sparked considerable public debate. As new evidence and information emerged, Smollett was accused of providing false information to investigators. The incident quickly led to serious legal and career consequences, resulting in his removal from the Empire and the loss of numerous career opportunities in the entertainment industry. The event also attracted international political and media attention, becoming one of the most widely discussed scandals at the time. From a rising star in television, Smollett ultimately lost his public standing in a short period. In the documentary Living with Michael Jackson, one of the most striking segments is the conversation between Michael Jackson and Gavin Arvizo at Neverland Ranch, moderated by journalist Martin Bashir. The interview initially had a relaxed atmosphere, but gradually became tense as questions revolved around Jackson's past practice of allowing children to stay overnight at his estate. Bashir raised concerns about an adult sharing a space with unrelated children, surprising Jackson with this perspective. He expressed discomfort with the negative interpretations, emphasizing that, in his experience, sharing space or sleeping together signified bonding and caring with no malicious intent whatsoever. Jackson also explained that he often gave up his bed to younger guests and slept elsewhere as a way of showing hospitality. When asked further about whether the children could have their own rooms, Jackson acknowledged that Neverland had all the necessary amenities for guests, but said that many children preferred being near him because of the sense of closeness and security he provided. After airing, the interview generated considerable public debate and subjected Jackson to significant media attention. The controversy surrounding this content also became part of the context leading to the legal issues he faced later, including his 2005 trial. From then on, these controversies continued to affect Michael Jackson's image until the end of his life in 2009. Martin Lawrence was one of the most prominent comedic figures of the 1990s, known for his bold and unconventional style. In 1994, he was invited to host Saturday Night Live, a coveted opportunity for many comedians. However, instead of becoming a glorious milestone, this appearance quickly turned into a major controversy. In his opening monologue, Lawrence chose a highly provocative style of comedy, but his performance was deemed to have crossed the line for live television. Some of his content and jokes were considered inappropriate for broadcast standards, causing considerable discomfort among viewers at the time. The consequences were almost immediate. NBC decided to remove the monologue from subsequent broadcasts and replace it with an official statement explaining the editing. At the same time, Saturday Night Live also decided to ban him from returning to the show in the future. Although Martin Lawrence later went on to have a successful career in film and comedy, this incident is still remembered as a controversial milestone in his past, showing how the line between bold humor and offensiveness can sometimes be very thin on live television. Prince Andrew attempted to explain his connection to Jeffrey Epstein, claiming it was a relationship that provided some opportunities in the past. However, this explanation did not gain public approval and instead raised further questions. When referring to his stay at Epstein's home, he described it simply as a convenient place to stay, a detail that further fueled criticism and debate. The situation became more complicated when he denied ever meeting Virginia Giuffre, one of the accusers related to Epstein, despite published photos showing them together. These statements did not clarify the situation, but instead increased public skepticism, with many believing the interview failed to address core questions. Subsequently, a swift reaction from society and related organizations ensued, with many entities beginning to reconsider their relationship with activities sponsored by Prince Andrew. The British royal family also had to take steps to mitigate the impact, including his withdrawal from public duties. This incident was later considered one of the most serious crises involving the image of a senior member of the British royal family in recent years. Tom Cruise has repeatedly been the center of attention due to controversial moments in interviews, somewhat altering public perception of him. One notable conversation was with Peter Overton, which initially revolved around personal questions, including one about Nicole Kidman. Cruise responded calmly, expressing respect for Kidman and wishing her well, while also sharing his future plans. However, as the interview delved deeper into his private life and past, the atmosphere became tense. Cruise showed discomfort and directly reminded the interviewer that some questions were going too far beyond the boundaries of privacy he wished to maintain. This blunt reaction quickly drew attention from the audience, generating diverse opinions. Some felt he reacted too harshly, while others sympathized with his efforts to protect his personal life from the media. Another moment that sparked much discussion was Cruise's 2005 interview with Oprah Winfrey. During the conversation, he displayed intense emotion when discussing his relationship with Katie Holmes, even acting excitedly on live television, surprising the entire studio. Oprah later reacted humorously to his excessive enthusiasm at the time. After airing, this segment quickly went viral and became a topic of discussion across various media outlets. Some viewers saw it as an overreaction, while others considered it simply the natural reaction of someone who was happy. Nevertheless, such moments contributed to a more multifaceted public image of Tom Cruise, simultaneously garnering admiration and sparking debate. The Academy Awards once witnessed a shocking moment when Will Smith unexpectedly walked onto the stage and slapped Chris Rock in front of millions of television viewers. The incident occurred after Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's appearance, comparing her to a character in the movie G.I. Jane. Jada, who is dealing with hair loss due to a medical condition, clearly showed her discomfort at the joke. Initially, Will Smith reacted with laughter, but seconds later, he stood up from his seat and walked onto the stage, creating a completely unexpected situation. The atmosphere in the auditorium immediately became silent and tense as the action happened live on air. Will Smith then returned to his seat and loudly demanded that Chris Rock not mention his wife again, repeating his words in a highly emotional state. Chris Rock, though initially shocked, managed to remain calm and continue hosting the show to ensure the ceremony was not interrupted. Following the incident, the public and entertainment industry reacted strongly and for an extended period. The Academy banned Will Smith from attending Oscar events for 10 years, and many of his projects and collaborations were affected afterward. This moment is considered one of the most notable incidents in Oscar history, significantly impacting Will Smith's image and career in the eyes of the public. In 1987, Sean Connery participated in an interview with Barbara Walters, initially focusing on light-hearted topics such as friendship, his love of golf, and his personal life. The initial atmosphere was relaxed, a casual sharing of everyday experiences between the interviewer and the guest. However, the exchange later took a more sensitive turn when Barbara Walters brought up a controversial statement Connery had made in the past. She referred to his old views on the use of violence in certain situations within personal relationships and questioned whether his thinking had changed over time. Connery responded that he maintained his previous stance, acknowledging that in some tense circumstances, physical action might be necessary, but he emphasized that it was not violence in an extreme sense. The dialogue continued when Walters asked for clarification, and Connery offered his interpretation of the hypothetical situation, making the interview tense and contentious. When Walters further questioned what would happen if the roles were reversed, Connery's response became more evasive, accompanied by a smile, further fueling controversy upon broadcast. After its release, this interview generated considerable public reaction and is often cited as one of the most controversial moments in Sean Connery's public career. Mel Gibson was once known as a prominent figure in the health and lifestyle field, especially after the launch of her app, The Whole Pantry, in 2013. She quickly gained attention as an inspirational figure, sharing her positive lifestyle changes and overcoming illness through natural methods, while also publishing cookbooks and building a significant following. However, things began to change when questions arose about the authenticity of her personal story. Gibson claimed that she had been diagnosed with several serious illnesses, including cancer, and that she had improved her health through diet and alternative methods. These claims led many to believe her and see her as a powerful source of inspiration. She even claimed that medical tests showed her illnesses had disappeared. Around 2015, cross-referencing and investigation began to raise doubts about Gibson's story, as more and more signs suggested she may not have experienced the illnesses she claimed to have. Simultaneously, commitments to donate a portion of profits to charity were also reviewed, and investigations revealed that the donations mentioned had not actually been made as advertised. Under pressure from public opinion, Gibson gave an interview to the Australian Women's Weekly and admitted that much of the information she had shared was inaccurate. She explained her behavior by citing personal issues and life circumstances, but these explanations could not change the consequences. Following the incident, her career nearly collapsed, and public trust was severely damaged. In 2017, she continued to face legal consequences and financial penalties for misleading consumers. Belle Gibson's case was later seen as one of the most shocking scandals in the health and media fields, highlighting the dangers of spreading misinformation on a large scale. In 2013, Paula Deen's career entered a crisis phase when a civil lawsuit brought her past statements to light. In her testimony, she admitted to using racist language in some past situations. She also mentioned considering an event themed around the plantation era, which provoked strong reactions and led many to believe her brand image was severely damaged. Immediately after the information was released, a wave of criticism spread among the public. The situation escalated when Paula Deen appeared on The Today Show to address the issue. However, instead of gaining sympathy, her response was deemed unconvincing as she emphasized the harsh criticism but failed to offer a clear apology, leaving many viewers feeling it lacked sincerity. The consequences unfolded rapidly as numerous business partners began cutting or terminating collaborations. Major brands like Walmart and media outlets, including Food Network, gradually withdrew from projects related to her. This caused Paula Deen's career to plummet. From a renowned chef with a vast culinary brand, she quickly lost her standing and public trust in a short period of time. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Have a nice day. See you in the next video.